The Devas approached the Asuras with an unexpected proposal, not for peace, but for a mission that could change the fate of every living being. They spoke of the legendary nectar of immortality, a divine treasure hidden deep within the ocean of milk. The moment the Asuras heard about the nectar, their eyes filled with greed and ambition. To become immortal and rule forever was a dream they could never ignore. Without knowing Lord Vishnu's greater plan, they immediately agreed to join the mission. For the first time, the Devas and the Asuras stood side by side. The greatest enemies in the universe were now working together for a single purpose. Yet one impossible question remained. How could anyone churn an entire cosmic ocean? Lord Vishnu revealed the answer. Mount Mandara would become the great churning rod. The moment everyone looked at the enormous mountain, they realized this task would be far more difficult than they had imagined. Thousands of Devas and Asuras gathered around the mountain. They pushed with all their strength. They pulled with everything they had. The earth trembled beneath them, but Mount Mandara barely moved. After countless efforts, the massive mountain finally began to move. A thunderous sound echoed across the heavens as hope returned to every heart. But their greatest challenge had only just begun. As they carried the mountain toward the ocean of milk, its immense weight became unbearable. Many Devas and Asuras collapsed from exhaustion. It seemed as if the entire mission would fail before the churning could even begin. At that very moment, Lord Vishnu blessed them with divine strength. Filled with new energy, they lifted Mount Mandara once again and continued their journey toward the sacred ocean. Finally, they reached the ocean of milk. The mountain stood ready, and both armies believed the hardest part was over. They had no idea that the greatest obstacle was still waiting, an obstacle that would soon lead Lord Vishnu to reveal one of his most extraordinary incarnations. Standing before the endless ocean of milk, the Devas and the Asuras realized they were still missing one final piece. A mountain alone could not churn an ocean. They needed something powerful enough to wrap around Mount Mandara and pull from both sides. Lord Vishnu then spoke the name of Vasuki, the mighty king of serpents. His strength was unmatched, and only he could serve as the rope for the great churning. The Devas and the Asuras approached Vasuki with humility and explained the divine mission. Understanding the importance of restoring balance to the universe, Vasuki agreed to help. His enormous body coiled around the massive Mount Mandara, while the Devas took one side and the Asuras gathered on the other. Everything was finally ready. With a powerful pull, the great churning began. The ocean of milk roared like never before. Gigantic waves crashed into the sky, thunder echoed across the heavens, and the entire universe trembled under the force of the Samudra Manthan. But within moments, something went terribly wrong. Mount Mandara had no foundation beneath it. Slowly, the gigantic mountain began sinking into the depths of the ocean. The harder they pulled, the faster it disappeared beneath the water. Fear spread across the faces of both the Devas and the Asuras. Their greatest effort was collapsing before their eyes. The dream of obtaining the nectar of immortality seemed to vanish into the endless depths of the cosmic ocean. Just when all hope appeared to be lost, Lord Vishnu smiled with complete calm. He had already foreseen this moment. Without a single word, he prepared to perform a miracle that would become one of the greatest divine events in Hindu mythology. A brilliant golden light filled the heavens. The oceans shimmered with divine energy, and every living being looked toward the sky in awe. In the next moment, Lord Vishnu assumed his magnificent Kurma Avatar, the divine giant tortoise. Descending into the deepest part of the ocean of milk, the mighty Kurma placed the enormous Mount Mandara upon his strong shell. The mountain became perfectly stable, and the impossible task could finally continue. The Devas and the Asuras pulled with renewed determination as the churning resumed. None of them realized that hidden within the depths of the ocean was something far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. Before the nectar could ever appear, the universe would first face a terrifying force capable of destroying all creation. The great churning continued with incredible force. Mount Mandara stood firmly upon the mighty shell of Lord Vishnu's Kurma Avatar, while Vasuki stretched across the mountain like a living rope. With every pull, the ocean of milk grew more violent, and the entire universe watched in silence. The waves rose higher than mountains, and the sky flashed with endless lightning. Every movement of the mountain released an ancient power hidden since the beginning of creation. No one knew what would emerge first from the depths of the cosmic ocean. Then, without warning, the ocean turned dark. A mysterious energy began rising from the water, spreading across the sky like a deadly shadow. The devas stepped back in fear, and even the fearless asuras fell silent. Within moments, a terrifying poison emerged from the ocean. This was Hala Hala, the deadliest poison ever created. Its heat and toxic energy spread through the heavens, the earth, and the underworld.